In a certain town in England, which I shan't name, there's a public building common to most towns, namely, a workhouse. And in this workhouse was born the item of mortality whose name is also the name of this story. For a long time after he was ushered by the parish surgeon into this world of sorrow, it remained a matter of considerable doubt whether the child would survive to bear any name at all. Oliver lay poised between this world and the next, the balance being decidedly in favour of the latter. However, finally, Oliver breathed, and the pale face of a young female was raised feebly from the pillow. She stretched out her hand towards the child. The surgeon deposited it in her arms. She imprinted her cold, white lips on its forehead, fell back, and died. The surgeon put on his hat and paused by the bed on his way to the door. "She was a good-looking girl," he said to the nurse, who hastily deposited in her pocket a green glass bottle, the contents of which she'd been tasting with evident satisfaction. "Where did she come from?" "Brought here last night," replied the old woman. "Found lying in the street." The surgeon leant over the body and raised the left hand. "No wedding ring, I see. The old story. Well, good night." The parish authorities resolved that Oliver should be dispatched to a branch workhouse some 3 miles off. The elderly female who ruled this roost received 7 halfpenny per small head per week, enough for a good round diet for a child. However, the elderly female appropriated the greater part of the weekly stipend to her own use. It cannot be expected that this system would produce any very luxuriant crop. Oliver Twist's 9th birthday found him a pale, thin child, somewhat diminutive in stature. He was keeping his birthday in the coal cellar with 2 other young gentlemen who, after participating with him in a sound thrashing, had been locked up for presuming to be hungry. Above them, Mrs. Mann, the good lady of the house, was startled by the apparition of Mr. Bumble, the beadle, striving to undo the garden gate. She thrust her head out of the window in well-affected ecstasies of joy. "Goodness gracious! Is that you, Mr. Bumble, sir? Susan, take Oliver and them 2 brats upstairs and wash 'em directly. How glad I am to see you." She came running out and ushered the beadle into a small parlour. Mr. Bumble took out a pocketbook. "To business. The child, Oliver Twist, is 9-year-old today." "Bless him," interposed Mrs. Mann, inflaming.